Continues after the...
Think of all the things you can do with a loan. Consolidate bills, replace your home appliances, buy a new car. First Virginia Bank of the Southwest is still the loan zone. Officially zoned for giving you the loan you need. There's just no passing something as good as the loan zone. Stop by today. Member FDIC.
Has 8 convenient offices in Christiansburg, Dublin, Blacksburg, and Radford, where you see the red First Virginia Bank sign.
Keeping your car in shape? Well, do it by the book. It's free at A&D Automotive to help you drive safely and economically. Your Napa dealer, A&D Automotive, is now offering free a handy little booklet called the Napa Gold Hat Maintenance Log. In it are basic tips on car care. It serves as a record for tune-ups, oil and filter changes, and much, much more. Get yours free from A&D Automotive, 1701 South Main Street, your Napa dealer. Take good care of your car, and remember, if it's from Napa, it's nifty.
On the late 1960s, as a wave of nostalgia for the 1950s began to hit America, Elvis's singing career had a bit of an upturn. He did a fairly successful TV special in 1968, and in the winter of 1969, he had his first #1 record in 7 years, Suspicious Minds, which sold copies, and it was soon followed by Don't Cry Daddy, a Mac Davis ballad that, although it rose no higher than #6 on the charts, also sold 1 million copies. And he had substantial hits around that time too, with Kentucky Rain and In the Ghetto. Meanwhile, however, Elvis's movie career had gone all to hell. Audiences had simply stopped going to see his pictures. In the middle of the 1960s, when Elvis had been riding high in the movies and making a couple of $1 million from each of them, Colonel Parker had foxily figured that they could make even more money from the pictures if they produced them for less money. Previously, such Presley films as Fun in Acapulco had been budgeted at around $4 million, and so by the Hollywood rule of thumb that a film must gross 2.5 times its cost before making a profit, no money was made on a picture like Fun in Acapulco until it had grossed $10 million, and the shooting schedule for a picture like Fun in Acapulco or Viva Las Vegas was 2 months or more. But Colonel Parker now made a deal whereby Elvis's pictures would henceforth be produced by Jungle Sam Katzman, who was known around the Hollywood area as the King of the Quickies. Thus, the first Katzman-produced Presley film, Kissin' Cousins, was made on a budget of $1.3 million and shot in 17 days. The Colonel, who astonishingly enough claimed never even to have seen any of Elvis's movies, simply and rather arrogantly figured that Presley fans would flock to the movies no matter how ineptly they were made. And after all, a movie that cost $1.3 million would begin to show a profit after grossing only $3.25 million. But this time the Colonel may have at last outfoxed himself, because as Elvis's pictures dropped in quality, the amount of money that they took in began to plummet, to the point where the movies were finally losing money instead of making it. Suddenly, Elvis was box office poison and washed up in the movies. And now, except for a couple of feature-length documentaries about his doings, Elvis, The Way It Is, 1970, and Elvis on Tour, 1972, he hasn't made a movie since Change of Habit, a 1969 bomb in which he played a sensitive but misunderstood singing slum doctor opposite Mary Tyler Moore as the nun he falls in love with. The collapse of Elvis's movie career was for the most part the fault of the Colonel, who, by the way, can be an extremely unpleasant man at times. Indeed, the Colonel's personal philosophy can be summed up in his own now classic line: "You don't have to be nice to the people you meet on the way up if you're not coming back down again."